How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Kind of a weird title for me. It says freak out, but what I did yesterday about asking people if they wanted to be taught because people were failing the class. I had people, I actually have talked to people since that video yesterday that have failed, and they, how's it going, Nate? And they did the exact perfect thing that a person should do in a situation like that. They said, I'm definitely not going to let that beat me down and have any hard feelings toward the organization or anything like that. And instead, I'm going to take that as motivation and let that drive me to do better and better and better. So the person is, one of the guys I talked to is definitely going back just as soon as he can. The next wood classes is in California. He don't want to drive all the way to California, but he's definitely going to go back. And a plus side about something like that, if you happen to fail a class, you can go back and take the same class. Say if it was for carpet, it's been a while. How's it going, man? How you doing, Alex? So if you was going for hardwood and stuff and you failed the hardwood, you can go back again and take the hardwood test at no charge that time, since you've already paid for it, but you just happen to fail. Okay, I'm 99.9% sure about that. I was actually talking with someone that was way up in the CFI organization yesterday, and that's what I was told. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And a lot of guys out there, I had someone message me also and say, so it's not a for sure thing that whenever you go to those certifications that you're going to get certified. It absolutely is not. Some people think that it's just a money gimmick. You can go there and you can pay your dues and walk away with a certification. That is absolutely not the case. If that was the case, there would be nothing at all to be proud of. How's it going, Scott? Anybody can pay for something and get it. That don't make you proud of nothing. You actually have to study and have some skills before you can pass those tests and get certified. It's definitely more than just going there, paying your dues, and walking away with a certification. You will be tested on technical stuff. They will give you a study guide prior to going and taking your test, so that you will have a week or two with it in your possession before you have to take your test. That way you can study your test, and that is also a reason why they say you need a 2 years of in the field experience before you go and take the test, because you are going to be tested on your hand skills. Okay, so you can study that test all you want, and if you pass the written test, you still got to know what you're doing right there. Okay, you still got to be able to perform the task at hand properly and professionally. Okay, that's what it's all about, is professionalism. That's CFI is all about that. So I hope I didn't scare anybody off. I hope I didn't deter anybody from maybe doing that. I simply stated that some guys were failing. I don't know if it's lack of experience or they didn't feel like they needed to study because they'd been doing it for so long, or what. It's got some technical stuff that, I've been doing it almost 30 years. I still didn't know a lot of that technical stuff. So it's definitely good to brush up on that stuff. If you read over that test and stuff like that, it's not bad. There are multiple questions, multiple answer questions. You get to choose from different options. Sometimes there's 4, A, B, C, or D, or sometimes there's just A, B, and C. So it kind of makes it easier in that sense of passing the test or of getting the correct answer, because you do have 3 or 4 different answers to go by. So makes it a little easier in that sense, but still, the main thing I realized after watching the CFI video, that they don't keep the workspace clean. That's important as well. Yeah, well, we had a lot of people there, and it's just hard to manage everybody. They actually was a little short-handed on that class. The people that was supposed to show up and help out with the training and stuff like that ended up not making it and stuff, so they had to pull in a couple people right at the end of the stuff. And it looked like that in the video for sure. I seen that too. But anyway, no hate, though I understand and would like to go myself. Yeah, it is. It's definitely awesome. And again, like, if you have to put forth some effort and you have to study and you have to show your skills and stuff like that, that makes it to where when you do pass the test and you do get certified, that's something to be proud of. You know, you see my certifications, they're hanging up on my wall. I'm proud of them. It's nice, okay? It's definitely worth going and doing. And I'm not by no means, CFI, they got training courses to train people that don't know anything about it. Somebody that's already been in the industry for a little bit, really myself, now this is just me, I don't think it would be necessary for them to go do a 5-week class. That's a chunk of money, and they've already got most of those skills down pat because they've already been doing it for a while. I think that the 2-week and the 5-week training centers or classes that CFI holds is for people with no experience. They'll take them in that 5-week class. Now this is something else right here. This is pretty awesome. They will take a person that don't know anything about anything when it comes to flooring, and they will have them, they're confident of this. They do it time after time after time. Will take that person, train them, give them enough skills and enough knowledge to where they can go out and install a traditional 3-bedroom house by themselves, okay? So that's pretty awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, they've got people waiting in line to hire, to recruit those guys once they come out of there. So it's going to be super easy to get a job after you take those classes. There are shops waiting in line for those guys that go through those courses and come out, even though they're fresh right off the grill. You know what I'm saying? Because they have the proper teaching and stuff like that, the stores are ready. They're waiting on them guys to come out so they can hire them and put them to work. So I just wanted to clear that up. I'm here at the Home Depot fixing around here and get a couple things. I just didn't want people freaking out thinking, oh my goodness, I've been doing this for 30 years now, I've got to worry about failing. Well, true, you might fail. And then again, you might be one of them people that say, oh, that's so simple, it's ridiculous. So, you know, it's all up to the person, I guess. But I do want you to know that, like I said a few minutes ago, they do give you study guides. So look over that. If you've been doing it for a long time, you should feel confident in your hand skills. So take your hand skills, take that study guide, study it up. Is it easy to fail? Well, I think that test that I just took on the laminate and hardwood and stuff had 69 questions, if I ain't mistaken, 67 maybe. So that's a written test that you have 67 answers that you have to know when it's come to technicality, okay? So you got to know that stuff, you know. When moisture's present, what do you do? Blah, 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 blah. Someone who has been in flooring a couple years should be able to pass, right? Their hand skills, they should definitely be able to pass that. Again, you're going to have a study guide. The study guide for carpet is only 8 pages long, okay? A person can read that in a couple hours, even if you're a slow reader like myself. It takes me a couple hours to read those 8 pages, but read them a couple of times and go take the test while it's fresh in your mind, okay? Somebody just done something. There it is. Bauer Carpet, I appreciate that, buddy. Again, you're super awesome, man. I really wish you would let me compensate you some kind of way for doing that. I really, really appreciate that every single time. Yeah, if you've been doing it a couple years, you should be able to pass it with your hand skills. But again, you need to study up that technical stuff. The carpet installation, actually, I think it's the technical questions that would get me because my hand skills are decent. Well, that's me, man. I've been in this almost 30 years. This year will be 30 years for me that I've actually been in flooring. And even just last week when I was down there, my gut still gets can you do a video on woven carpet seams? I cannot. I'm sorry. I learned that from NFIC, and I cannot share that stuff. I apologize for that, but I give the man my word, and I signed a waiver that I would not go out teaching his techniques. And I did learn that there, so I cannot do that. I'm sorry. My gut still gets all... Thank you. I appreciate that, Doc Tab. My gut, even last week, was all wrenched up, feeling like I was a teenager going to court again. I was... that's okay, Mo Adrian. I was all... Every single time I do that, I'm nervous until I get the written test over with. I'm cool with this hands-on stuff. I don't really worry about that. I know how to do it and all that stuff. But every single time my gut gets all knotted up, like, you know, I need to go take a dookie or something before the test, because I'm all tore up. My nerves are shot and everything. And I've been doing it 30 years, so if you don't get tore up, I don't know, maybe you're not taking it serious enough or something. I take it pretty serious. As much as I hate to read and study, I definitely do what I can to do that. So, yeah, again, so it's pretty easy, I guess, if you study and you already got your skills. If you got your hand skills and you study, it's not going to be bad, okay? What I was saying a while ago, the carpet test for the R2 and C2, I don't know about the R1 and C1. R1 is, I think it was pretty simple. It's kind of messed up because I did my R1 and R2 all at the same time, and then I went back and I did my C1 and my C2 at the same time. So I took my R1 and R2 test, if I ain't mistaken, all at the same time. Or maybe I just get my R1 written test and went straight to the R2 test because that's what I was going for. But anyway, there was like 100 and something questions on the carpet test. When it comes to the residential 2 and the commercial 2, they're actually the same test. So if you're wanting to do your R2 and C2, residential and commercial, the second levels in that, if you pass the test on one, you will not have to, you will not have to take that on the other. Training centers, LOL. I do 4 apartments a day since 97. Good deal. That's awesome. That's a lot to do. Evening, y'all. How's it going, Danny? Speaking of which, what would you do if there's a moisture present water barrier installed within acceptable parameters? It all depends on what you're dealing with there. Laminate and stuff like that, you want to put down a moisture barrier, a 6 mil plastic or something like that. If you're wanting to do a glue down product, it's going to need some kind of moisture treatment. Honestly, I can't tell you right off the bat. It's been a while since I studied that stuff. Again, that's where I get tensed up and all nervous, is with the technicality stuff. If moisture was a problem, I would have to research it and then decide what to do when I found out what to do again. So I can't tell you right off the top of my head. I'm sorry about that. If it was hardwood or something like that, you definitely, the glue is going to be, if you full spread your adhesive, you can get by with it to certain levels, okay? I think if it's higher than 9 on your moisture meter, if there's more than 9% moisture, or 3 pounds of moisture in the, I forget what test that is, the hydrochloride test, I think is what it is, then it's not a suitable substrate to install over. So I hope I'm telling you guys right. I get nervous with most things as well, getting my license and tests, etc. I hear you, buddy. Anyway, I'm fixing to get off here. You guys have put me on the spot now. I don't. It's a shame. I need to fresh up on all that stuff all the time. That way it'll be present. But unfortunately, I don't never worry about it. I'm sure just like the rest of you until the problem arises. Then you search it out and see what needs to happen. But I don't think I've ever had a substrate that was too wet to install over. I laid some I skimmed a floor here last year with a product that was a moisture barrier, moisture retardant, I think is what it was. I can't remember. A guy was asking me about that video just the other day. I was actually installing a floating floor over it, and that's why we have guidebooks. That's exactly right, buddy. I had a guy call me the other day, or message me the other day about a video I did. I do use the spike. I saw your video on the kneeless kicker. Is it legit? I was thinking about using on concrete. I don't stretch rooms in with it. A lot of guys do, but I do not. I still use my power stretchers. I simply use that kneeless to take the place of my kicker, because I don't like to kick, like I stated a few minutes ago. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I've been using almost 30 years now, so I don't like to kick. It's harmful to your body, and it's harmful to the carpet. So anywhere that I would kick, I use my kneeless. So that's why I got it. A lot of guys do use it to stretch in the complete rooms, but I just cannot feel comfortable doing that. I still have to use my pole stretchers. So if that answers your question, I cannot recommend stretching a whole room in with it, but a lot of guys do, which, like you stated, a lot of guys use a spike also, and I don't. So it's all in what you, it's all in all of, it's up to the individual, I guess, what they want to do and how comfortable they feel with whatever quality that they're wanting to put out. So I think that's it. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to clear that up. I didn't want anybody freaking out. What do you think about using the stretcher head with the spike? I don't like it. It plainly says on the stretcher piece itself, do not use a spike with that. All manufacturers will void the warranty if you do use a spike. So, I mean, that's right there. That should tell you, don't use a spike. The stretcher poles, the stretchers say it. And the manufacturers void the warranty. I'm getting me another big box of rags. I use, let me turn this around here. See that box of rags right there is almost empty, and that's what I keep those on the van all the time for whatever I need a rag for, and it is almost empty, so I'm running in there to get me another box of rags. Anywho, if anybody ain't got no more questions, I'm going to get off here really fast. I did get quite a bit of feedback about that training, by the way, so probably sometime in the spring. There you go. Probably sometime in the spring. You're right, no substitute for power stretchers. It is absolutely the best way to stretch carpet is using poles. You're not going to get any better than that. Pulling from one wall all the way across is just the best way to do it, hands down. So there was quite a few guys that was wanting to do the training and stuff like that, so I will. Why would they sell the attachment then? Well, I mean, to make money. I mean, they sell all kinds of stuff that ain't good. They sell alcohol. They sell cigarettes, stuff that's harmful to you. So, I mean, they do it to make money. There's all kinds of tools out there that's not suitable for professionals, but they still do it. Somebody likes them. People like them. People use them. It's up to the individual. Rather, like I said, whatever quality that they want to put out there, it's up to them. So, anyway, sometime in the spring I will try to get something together, and I'll have to check on the legal side of it and all of that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm putting it so far off in the future for some training classes and stuff like that. Spike for mobile homes. Well, there you go. Some people do that. So there's lots of horror stories about the spike. I've never even owned one myself. I've seen it used one time. Back when I was doing new construction all the time in Nashville, there's a guy that was doing house side by side right beside me, and he wanted to borrow a broom, so I carried it over there, and I seen him, and he was all happy about it and everything. Oh, check this out. And he stretched it. He stretched the crap out of it, no doubt about it. I mean, it stretches, but I mean, it gouges holes in the subfloor, it gouges holes in the backing of the carpet. So Again, that's why manufacturers will avoid the warranty because of that. Anyway, fixing to get off here and run in there and get my box of rags so I can get home and have some supper. I wanted to clear that up, make sure I didn't scare anybody to death or anything like that, freak anybody out. So thank you guys for tuning in. I got a video, the very next video that I'll be putting out will be the pattern carpet. It's already done and everything like that. I just gotta put it together and get it uploaded. And then yesterday I did a video, not yesterday, the day before, Sunday, I guess, Sunday afternoon, I did a video on how to correct a seam, pull apart that's already been stretched in, pull it up, cut the seam apart, redo it, and stretch the room back in. So that will be the following video. Both of those are already recorded, just got to get them edited and put out. Okay, anyway, running in here, thank you guys for tuning in. Bauer Carpets, I really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, FBSB's out.